this agreement, Juliana, marks the first time in more than 20 years that the US and the EU actually agreed to cut tariffs. And so in that context, it marks a de-escalation in tensions between both sides of the Atlantic. We've reported on US steel and aluminium tariffs, on a dispute over digital taxation, aircraft subsidies, as well as also been an issue between both sides of the Atlantic. But now we're watching both sides saying that they actually want to have further trade agreements. So let's look at some of the details of the announcement made on Friday. Essentially, the European Commission said it will end the tariffs on US lobster, both live and frozen, for the next 5 years, with the view to make that permanent. Now, that has yet to be approved by other European institutions, but is a critical development for the lobster industry in the US, which has struggled with trade war with China, with fewer sales to the EU as well, and is also an important battleground area for the Republicans and the Democrats ahead of the presidential election. And in return, the United States said that it will cut tariffs on certain EU goods by 50%, and these products include, for instance, crystal glassware and prepared meals. Now, in terms of the size, though, the deal is quite small when you look at the overall trade between the EU and the US, but we heard from both chief negotiators saying that this is just the beginning and they want indeed to have further trade agreements. In this context, I want to share with you a comment from a spokesperson from the European Commission, who told me yesterday the package builds on both sides' commitment to find a negotiated solution for the long-standing aircraft dispute. And so essentially this comment tells us that the deal we saw on Friday could pave the way for a broader deal over aircraft subsidies, something that both sides of the Atlantic have been arguing over for the last decade or so. In fact, we're waiting for the WTO to announce by the end of the summer the scope for retaliation for the EU when it comes to US products, and after the latter was also essentially ruled that it also granted subsidies to Boeing that were not deemed compliant with WTO rules. So this is going to be an important one to watch out over the coming weeks. Overall, Juliana, indeed the size of this deal is quite small, but it indeed marks a shift in the trade tensions that we have seen between both sides of the Atlantic.